every single one of us was charmed by this man. Not because he was like this aggressive, outgoing alpha male. He was actually the opposite. He was a very calm, I wouldn't even say subdued. It's not subdued at all, but calm, kind, expressive, almost on the edge of feminine type of man that literally had each wing girl who is part of my inner circle program leaning into him, playing with her hair, blushing. And when I asked this guy, like, where has he always been like this, or is this like something that he's learned? He said he's been doing a lot of work on himself for so long, but the thing that kicked it over the edge was taking the Davon method and learning more about Tantra and getting into his body and staying out of his head. But maybe give a brief overview of Tantra and explain what it is for guys. I think a lot of guys are like, oh, Tantra means you can last long in bed, but there's much more to it. And I'd love to hear how this client used Tantra to embody this type of demeanor and character and energy that he expresses to women.
Tantra, like I said, can be mysterious, but the way that Erwan and I approach Tantra is this. It's cultivating presence and awareness in the body, including what we call the vital center or the sex center, that area of the body where the hips and the pelvis and the genitals are. Often that part of ourselves is cut off. For us as women, it's cut off. There's a million things we could talk about there, but that's not what we're talking about here. It's cut off a lot for men because they're taught that part of themselves is too threatening or scary, or they're shamed for it. The way that we approach flirting, seduction, kind of bringing that vibe into the dynamic here at the Davon Method is through steps, because we all love steps, right? And the first thing that you want to do is socialize with the woman. So just engage her. I have my water bottle. This is not a beer or a cocktail, but you cheers her like, hey, you see an attractive woman across the room, right? Like, hey, cheers, or how's it going? It's like this qualifier. So you see if she gives you a positive response. Okay. If she turns away or gives you a negative response, just on to the next. Because in that moment, she's a no. Not no forever, but no in that moment. But let's say she's receptive. Then you kind of chat and socialize about whatever you're both experiencing. You're at an art gallery. You say, oh yeah, how about that painting? Or, oh wow, that's a really bright pink drink. Like, what's that? Or like, check out mine. It's mango pizzazz or whatever it is. You just chit chat, not for long. Then this is gradual. Then you want to give some kind of compliment about her appearance, about her attractiveness. Women love when you affirm her attractiveness. Your attention is on her and you're not being crude about it. You're not throwing your sexuality out into the mix where you're like, hey, yeah, I'd love to take you back to my place. You're looking so fine. I can't control myself. No, like, wow, like those earrings match your eyes. Those are really working for you. Wow, like that dress, that's very flattering. And you're sending the message, I'm attracted to you, but you're doing it at a certain level. Because women, we communicate at different levels. We might be talking about the drink, but we're actually feeling the vibe in our sex center, but we don't want to talk about it directly. This is figuring women out as an art.